I'm Dana, and I thought I was going to have a really good, productive day today, and I haven't really gotten anything done. Like, I've done a few little bits, it hasn't been like a done nothing kind of day, but I haven't really done anything. And I've got vegan chicken strips on the way that I've ordered that I don't really have the money to order, but I literally can't even decide what to cook. And I want to talk about all of this in this here video. Because the thing with waking up and being like, I'm going to be productive today and get things done, is that I have to decide what I'm doing. And that feels fucking impossible some days. Like, it just feels like there is no possible way in which I can place any sort of importance on the things that I need to do. And as such, I just sit and I read some stuff and I scroll and I make another cup and I play with the cats. And before I know it, it's 6 p.m. and I'm just showering. And even then, it was real difficult to decide if I should shower, go and do a food shop, or just not even bother because I haven't fucking done anything all day and I'm not going anywhere and no one's coming over. So, like, I don't need to shower, I don't need to do a food shop, it's whatever. And, like, it's not, because it's self-care and it's looking after myself. But making the decision of what to do is impossible. And this is one of those things that, like, I've always experienced, and I've never had a good way of explaining it. And, you know, coming into the autistic community and reading about, like, PDA and how, like, how autistic brains react to having, like, too much information and being overwhelmed and stuff, it all makes a lot of sense. And it's clearly the fact that I'm autistic that means that this happens sometimes. But that doesn't help me explain what actually goes on very well, I don't think. And it also doesn't help me with what to do about it. You know, and that's where my routine is really, really important to me, because that means that, like, I still fed the cats and I still change the litter tray. And there's some things that I just do every day because it's my routine and I'll feel worse if I don't do it. But with doing, like, online content creator stuff instead of, like, a real, like, job, literally instead of a real job, I have to decide what I'm doing for myself, and I have to decide when I'm doing it and what will be good. And, like, I understand that that's just what it means to, well, frankly, have a hobby. It's not a job, let's face it. But it's all the time, every day, forever, you know? Like, even if I had a 9 to 5, I would still then come home and probably be like, do I shower, or do I cook my tea, or do I do my like, literally, when I was going and working in the video shop, I was getting home and not doing anything that I needed to because I was just so fucking tired and burnt out and overwhelmed from being around people and masking all day. And that made it impossible to choose what I wanted to do when I got home. So rather than actually doing anything, I would just sit down and watch some TV and then go to bed. And sometimes lately, like, entire days feel like that. Like, I have all these things that I could and want to do, and it's just impossible to decide which one is the thing I should do first and to actually start doing something, you know? Like, if I could in any way, like, decide what to do first, I probably could make a start on it. But I will literally decide, like, okay, I'm going to sit down and do this now, and then, like, I'm like, oh, well, the way my routine works is that I set up everything that I do. If I'm going to make clay, if I'm going to, like, make a video, if I'm going to do anything, there's some sort of, like, setup for it, usually making a cup, let's face it. And by the time I've made my cup, I'm like, oh, actually, I really should do this. This other thing's starting to stress me out. I should do that. Oh, but, like, I've spent so much time stressing about it, I finished my cup and it's the wrong setup anyway, so I'm going to have to set up for this other thing. And it just never happens. I mean, it does, but it takes a very long time to get around to happening. And in the meantime, while it's not happening, I feel awful about myself. A good part of the reason this video is even happening is because I've got food on the way, and at least if I've filmed a video that I can edit, I feel somewhat worthy of getting to eat today. Like, that's really not fucking healthy, and I've done it a bunch of days lately where I'm just like, I will eat when I'm done doing this, and I don't do the thing, so I don't eat, and it's awful, and I really need to stop fucking doing it. And this is an attempt to stop doing it, but it's not actually doing very well, because I'm just forcing myself to make, let's face it, not the best content I've ever made, so that I'm allowing myself to eat. And a good amount of that also comes down to the fact that I can't decide what to eat, which means that I've got basically nothing in right now because I don't know what to eat, so I can't go shopping and make the decisions of what to buy. So I'm in that place where I'm having to order takeout, and it's like I have gone and bought food today, but I don't know what to cook. I didn't know what the fuck to buy. I don't remember what I bought. It's probably just a load of random ingredients that don't actually make a meal. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm hungry, it doesn't matter if I need to eat. The food either isn't there, or if it is, I'm like, I don't have like the emotional, mental energy and function in order to put it together a meal to eat. Combined with the fact that I have all sorts of like fucking sensory issues around food, and like I'm a real fussy eater in a lot of ways. It like everything just sounds repulsive to me at the minute, frankly, other than like chicken strips, chicken nuggets, things like that, onion rings, you know, like absolute junk food that I can't eat 24/7 all the time. And even then, I spent honestly probably solidly in at least an hour, if not longer, just going through different food options and being like, I don't know where I want to order from, I don't know what I want to eat, until I was like, chicken strips. And, you know, that's again the added thing of like, I'm vegan, so I've got to find the vegan version. It's a fucking nightmare. But meat grosses me out, so that's like the sensory fucking accommodation that I have to make. And it's also frustrating because I mentioned pathological demand avoidance before, and that's something that I've massively experienced. Like, any time my mum would be like, you got tired of your room, then it's like, well, I was just about to, but now I'm fucking not. And I had that with a lot of areas in life, and I was always like, if people just left me to do my own thing, I'd be fine. And sometimes I really am. Sometimes I massively benefit from that. I can really get my shit together and go for like a prolonged period of time where I'm doing well, you know? And where I can make decisions and where I can get stuff done in a day. And then there's other days where like I just don't have like the spoons, the brain energy, the emotional function. Like my brain just is not working well enough for me to be able to make a single decision without just getting really overwhelmed by everything about the decision I'm making, even though they're not that serious, you know? Like this outfit, I've just realised, does not match at all, and that was because I spent like at least half an hour choosing an outfit based on like sensory issues and what I actually want to wear and what I feel good in. And I don't feel great in this still, even though I thought I would, because these are both items that I really like. And just making the choice was fucking exhausting, so I'm not changing, but it's not a good outfit. And I made the wrong decision about it, even after spending ages fucking agonising over it. And it doesn't matter, because it's such a tiny decision. When it's so difficult to decide which things are actually important though, like, everything feels like a big decision. Everything feels like it could be kind of life-changing in some way. Everything always has like a consequence and a cause and effect, and like I constantly feel like I'm gonna make the wrong choice, even if that's literally just like having toast for my breakfast, you know? And like I say, it can be the wrong choice, because I said that I wouldn't change because I've fucking put it on now, but I think there's a very good chance that I am gonna change the shorts, because I just no longer feel comfortable with the choice that I fucking made, even though I spent ages making the choice, you know. And I am being a bit like harsher to myself than I tend to try to be on days like this, because I don't have a reason for this one, you know. Like a lot of the times when I have a day like this, it's like a day or two before I've done something, you know. I've been out with friends, I went out and did this, I went to a gig, and it's like, well, yeah, I like, you know, as much as I can mask and control the reactions that I have to things, I still have a lot of sensory issues when I go out and about, and there's a lot of things that really like bother me internally, and it takes me like some time to recover from. And that's where it's a lot easier to be like, I'm not doing anything today because I did this thing and this is my recovery time. But there's been nothing this time. I have no excuse, I have no reason. I should be fine and dandy to keep going, but I just can't make a single fucking choice on what to do. Like, I've been doing filler things like this. Like, this feels like absolute, like, not filler content, but like filler for my like day-to-day life. Because it's like, if I'd set up for this video and like done notes and everything like I usually do, then I'd feel like I was doing something. But as it is, like, this is a very impromptu video, so it feels like I'm just having a chat and procrastinating and bullshitting, which I kind of am. But I also hope that this is really like relatable and useful and something to somebody out there, because I feel awful about myself for this, you know. And I guarantee if somebody else told me in the exact words I've used that they felt like that, I'd be like, give yourself a break. Like, it's okay, we can't all be go 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 all the time. Everyone's got to take a little break sometimes. Our brains get filled with lots of stuff, and it's absolutely normal and understandable that some days your brain's like, no, there's too much in here for us to like sort through and make a choice. Take the day off and see how you feel tomorrow. You know, it's so much easier to bear like empathy and compassion for other people. And when it's me, I'm like, just fucking do something. Like, Christ, come on. But as I said at the start, I do think that, like, this is an autistic trait. I don't, you know, I spent a long time being like, why am I so lazy? Why am I so useless? Why can I not just fucking do stuff? What's the point of me? Like, what is wrong with me? Autism. And it brings a lot of, like, joy, fuck off, it does not bring joy. It brings a lot of comfort and validation knowing that this is part of being autistic and that I'm, like, experiencing an autistic trait. It's not that I'm lazy, it's not that I'm not good enough, it's not that I can't do anything, it's not that my brain doesn't work, it's that I've got a bit of a different brain to most of the other people that I'm around, and this is how it works. And as much as I have that awareness, it still fucking sucks and it's still really annoying because I wanted to get my shit done. But yeah, some days this how it be, and like I say, I would not shit on anyone else for feeling like this, and I'm sure that lots of you probably go through this. Like, I do think that this is, you know, from what I've read, this is literally an autistic trait, and, you know, I wouldn't want anybody else to feel bad for, like, feeling like this and going through this and doing this kind of thing. And it's also one of those where I'm like, I've wasted a day, and it's like, if anyone else said that, I'd be like, you got another one tomorrow, and day after that, and day after that, like, you're fine, you can waste a day here and there. But when I do it, I'm like, God, a whole day wasted, what is the point of it all? We've been here, I've just explained this, but, like, I just disappoint myself sometimes, and it's difficult to, like, comfort myself and soothe myself from being disappointed in myself. But it's something that I'm realising, it's something I'm learning, and once you're, like, aware of it and learning about it, you can work on things. So it can only get better. They're all my thoughts, and I really want to check where my food is because it's 7:30. I thought it was only going to be like 6:40. It's 7:30 and I haven't eaten yet today, which is awful. Like, I've seen so many people be like, people are, like, glamorising eating disorders when they're like, oh my god, I haven't eaten all day and I didn't even notice. It's not a fucking good thing. Like, I start shaking and get dizzy and feel awful, like, physically awful, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's because I haven't eaten all day. It's not some fun, glamorous thing, guys, believe me, like, fuck. So yeah, that's today's video. Please do let me know if you go through this kind of thing, if this is something that you deal with, if you feel this way at all. I would love you to sound off in the comments and tell me about how you deal with it and how you feel about it and how you soothe yourself. And yeah, I'd love to hear about it. I really sincerely hope that you're not as mean to yourself about it as I am. Like, you deserve better than that, okay? But yeah, I upload on Thursdays and Sundays, so if you'd like to stick around and see more of my content, please do like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok and, I was about to say LinkedIn, Twitter. It'll all be linked down below, along with, you can also become a YouTube member, and I'll also link below my Ko-fi and Patreon if you wanted to financially donate money towards me being able to live and breathe and shit, so I can continue making videos in my, it's not even my free time. I do kind of treat this as a job at this point, I just don't get paid. If I think too much about it, it's a bit depressing, but there's no pressure as always. I really love making content, and as much as I'm like, maybe I should get paid for, like, bringing people to this website and having ads on my videos and stuff, it ain't you guys that are meant to be paying me. Mr. Big YouTube Man should. Notice how I raised my voice so you might hear me better out in the air, but yeah, I'm definitely going now because I'm talking absolute bollocks. So whoever you are and wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.